for joining me. I'm Jessica Kringle, and most of you know me as Mrs. Claus. Of course, when I'm in Mariposa, they call me their Mountain Mrs. Claus. If you weren't able to tune in to last week's show, you're probably wondering why in the world KRYZ Radio is doing a Christmas show in October. Well, KRYZ's home is Mariposa, California, and Santa and I will be leading the United States Capitol Christmas tree into Mariposa on November 4th, 2021 for a celebratory stopover. We will be coming in town at noon and heading to 5087 State Highway 140, the old Frost Shop lot, next to Stage Stop. We will have a celebration in Sonora the night before from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And after our 2 hours of fun in Mariposa, we will head to Fresno for a celebration there. So this little show is to tell you all about the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree and why it's such an honor to have it coming into our little town. As I mentioned last week, the inception of community Christmas celebrations in Washington, D.C. began in 1913 with their very first tree being put up at the U.S. Capitol building. It was erected in the same spot in 1914, but in 1915 there was no community Christmas tree because of fiscal difficulties. When enough funds were gathered in 1916 for another tree, the celebration was moved to the Treasury building, and it has a long history of relocation and different cut and living trees from various locations in the eastern United States. I had also mentioned that there is a rumor that Elliott Woods, the architect of the U.S. Capitol, wanted the tradition of the National Christmas tree at the Capitol building to continue so badly that he purchased a tree and planted it on the Capitol grounds and decorated it himself, possibly in the early 20s. It doesn't seem that lasted. It wasn't until 1964 that the idea of planting a Christmas tree on the U.S. Capitol grounds was revisited. The recommendation came from then House Speaker John W. McCormack. He got the honor of lighting the Capitol's Christmas tree, and that tradition continues to this day with the Speaker of the House getting to light the tree. They dubbed this tree the People's Tree and wanted it to be shared by all. In 1964, they had chosen a Douglas fir from Pennsylvania and planted it on the west front lawn. Unfortunately, like so many of the live Christmas trees transplanted for celebrations in Washington, D.C., it did not survive the elements and died just 4 years later. In 1964, they had chosen a Douglas fir from Pennsylvania and planted it on the west front lawn. Unfortunately, like so many of the live Christmas trees transplanted for celebrations in Washington, D.C., it did not survive the elements and died just 4 years later. They obtained trees the following 2 years. Then, in 1970, the job to provide the trees was given to the United States Department of Agriculture Forest Service, and they have been taking care of it ever since. Isn't that wonderful? Every year, a different national forest is chosen to provide the trees. For the first 21 years of the People's Tree, Minnesota was the most western state that had been chosen to provide the tree. In 1986, California was finally chosen to provide its first tree. It was a Shasta red fir from the Klamath National Forest. California got to provide the tree again in 1993 from the San Bernardino National Forest, and they chose a white fir. In 1995, they opted for a Douglas fir from the Plumas National Forest. And in 2011, from the Stanislaus National Forest, they provided a Sierra white fir. Don't they just all sound so lovely? You can find the entire list of from where each tree has been provided since 1964 on the U.S. Capitol Christmas Trees website. In there, it explains that the People's Tree includes a public engagement campaign to create connections and to celebrate our national forests. I love that this initiative brings together the United States Department of Agriculture Forest Service staff, communities throughout the respective state and across the country, and local and national partners to celebrate the spirit of the Christmas season and the great outdoors. And the United States certainly does have some of the most beautiful forests in the world.
Ho, ho, ho. Sorry I'm late, Mama. We were training one of the new elves on the scroll saw, and he was having one heck of a time getting his cut straight.
Oh, dear. Did you get it all worked out?
Oh, yes. Old Nazis taught him a few tricks and helped him practice, and now every cut is perfect. And we have a little extra kindling this month. Ho, ho, ho. Did I miss the great announcement of which national forest gets to provide the United States Capitol Christmas tree?
No, Papa. You're right on time. Why don't I let you tell everyone?
I would absolutely love to. The tree is coming from the Six Rivers National Forest in Northern California.
I'm so excited. This will be the 5th tree coming from California since this tradition began, and the Six Rivers National Forest is absolutely stunning. It was a perfect choice.
I wholeheartedly agree. Tell them about the forest, Mama.
Well, the Six Rivers National Forest is located in the northwestern corner of California, stretching from the Oregon-California border to 140 miles south. Six Rivers includes over 974,000 acres of mountainous Northern California land and was formulated from parts of the Klamath, Trinity, and Siskiyou National Forests. Parts of the Six Rivers National Forest may be found in Del Norte, Humboldt, Siskiyou, and Trinity counties.
Tell them why it's called Six Rivers.
Well, my sweet, it is because of the 6 rivers that are within the forest. The Smith River, the Klamath River, the Trinity River, the Mad River, the Von Dusen River, and the Eel River. These rivers are comprised of more than 1,500 miles of streams and constitute 9% of California's total freshwater runoff.
That's pretty significant in such a large state.
It sure is. 4 of those rivers, the Smith, Klamath, Trinity, and Eels watersheds include more than 365 miles of designated wild and scenic river.
It sure is scenic. Oh, the reindeer and I look forward to our run over that forest every year. It's just beautiful.
I bet. Did you know that the Smith River is the only major undammed, naturally flowing river remaining in California?
It's one of the reasons I love to sneak back to California during fishing season, to take advantage of the most amazing fishing you can find.
And a what is?
Anadromous.
The term that describes fish born in freshwater who spend most of their lives in saltwater and return to freshwater to spawn.
Ooh, like salmon and some species of sturgeon.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, I have heard that fishing is right up there with rafting and kayaking as the most popular recreational activities in the Six Rivers National Forest. I myself am more fond of the hiking opportunities. With the elevations across the forest ranging from nearly sea level to approximately 7,000 feet, there is a huge array of landscapes and ecosystems to explore. This diverse forest is composed of extensive stands of coniferous forest with moderate amounts of oak woodland and grassland in the southern part of the forest. Coniferous means that the trees have cones that bear seeds. That always makes me think of Christmas and the lovely wreaths that folks hang up.
Tell them about the resource management efforts.
Okay, Papa. I mentioned the variety of ecosystems. Well, they provide habitat for 8 federally classified threatened and endangered species, including the bald eagle. In Six Rivers National Forest, you can also find animals and plants designated as Forest Service sensitive species. It is home to one of California's rarest plants, the Lasix lupine. It is a plant at risk of becoming extinct because so many animals find it yummy, and the rangers are working hard to save the seeds from being devoured each year.
Yep, I gotta tell the reindeer no snacking when we fly over.
Six Rivers manages 1.17 million acres, and part of that includes the Klamath National Forest's Yukonom Ranger District and the Salmon River, which is also considered a wild and scenic river. It is a lot of resources to manage.
So how did they settle on 6 rivers?
Oh my! The process for choosing which forest starts up to 2 years in advance. They try to choose trees from different areas of the country. They look for forests with staff who will work for at least a year on the project of providing the tree. The staff must be interested in generating partners that will work to fund the project and generate enthusiasm in their home state. They do try to give some preference if the state or forest has a significant historical event or theme affiliated with the forest. Then, a team in the Forest Service headquarters in Washington, D.C. begins coordinating with employees in the field to start searching for the perfect tree. The employees in the field narrow it down to around 6 trees, and the architect of the Capitol makes the final decision.
Upon what does he or she base that decision?
They look at the shape and the fullness of the trees. They view it from all sides to make sure it looks great from any angle. The preferred height of the tree is between 60 and 85 feet tall. They look for a tree that has foliage that is rich, the right color for the species, with healthy needles and pliable branches. They also need to make sure their choice is accessible for harvesting, loading, and transporting that tree out of the woods.
Didn't things look a bit different this year?
They did. Because of COVID-19, the 6 trees were presented to the architect virtually. I love that in their good nature, they gave each of the 6 trees a nickname that is connected to the California state animal, the bear. They decided upon an 84-foot white fir that is located within the Mad River Ranger District. They named that one Sugar Bear.
The Mad River Ranger District is the area affected by the 2020 August Complex Fire, the largest recorded wildfire in California history. Nearly 160,000 acres, that's about 50% of the total district, burned in that fire and was destroyed.
Yes, Santa. That is why everyone is so excited that Sugar Bear will grace the lawn of the Capitol this year. They are harvesting the tree on October 23rd at noon, and you will be able to watch that on Facebook Live. Be sure to follow the U.S. Capitol Christmas Trees Facebook page or go to www.uscapitolchristmastree.org for more information. Once the tree is cut, it is wrapped to help protect it, and then it's loaded onto a flatbed truck with a large crane. The truck is specially equipped with a platform to help protect the tree for its journey to Washington, D.C. This year, the tree will come down California's coastline to San Francisco, then in toward Sacramento, and then down 99 to Sonora on November 3rd, and to Mariposa on November 4th. You and I will be leading the tree to 5087 State Highway 140.
Yes, I've made sure that Jean and Richard are on my nice list for allowing us to use the old frost shop lot for this celebration.
None of these celebrations would be possible without Choose Outdoors, a nonprofit partner with the National Forests. They help with the cash and in-kind contributions from companies, large and small, and volunteers all across America. The Mariposa celebration would not be possible without the vital support of time and resources from the people and businesses that have helped, such as the Board of Supervisors members, Michelle McCarty with Mountain Misses, the Mariposa Lions and Rotary Clubs, the Mariposa County Fire, Sheriff, and Public Works, CAL FIRE, Main Street Mariposa, the Mariposa Chamber of Commerce, and Joanna Ransom Photography.
What is going to happen at the Mariposa event?
Well, dearest, the Mariposa County High School Band is going to set up and play some songs. We will have a Yosemite Ranger tell folks about 6 rivers. We will have a presentation from the local Native American community. Some students from Mariposa Elementary School will sing some Christmas songs. And then you and I get to hang out and lead folks over to the tree where there will be little gifts and activities to learn more and celebrate what this tree means. As Mountain Mrs. Claus, they've asked me to be the mistress of ceremonies, so I get to make the announcements as these folks share their talents with the community. I am so excited.
Ho, 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 I am too. This is going to be loads of fun. What time is it again?
Well, we should be arriving around noon at the lot, and we will need to get back on the road at 2 p.m. We've got a long journey ahead of us, but our next stop will be Fresno for another celebration on the 5th. Then we will keep traveling south to Redlands before we turn east and get to Washington, D.C.
What happens when the tree arrives at the Capitol?
Sugar Bear will be officially presented to the architect of the Capitol, and the Capitol landscape crews take over. They will need 7 to 10 days to put the trees in a ready-made 5-foot-deep hole and secure it in place. They will make repairs and add extra branches if necessary. They will string the lights and place the thousands of handmade ornaments that have been sent from all over on Sugar Bear's lovely branches. There will be a tree lighting ceremony on the west lawn of the Capitol, hosted by the Speaker of the House. The tree will stay lit until about the first week of January, hopefully until the Epiphany or Three Kings Day. If you don't know what that is, you can find a video about that on my YouTube channel, YouTube/Crafters Countdown.
Mama, you had told the story of folks being upset about the wastefulness of cut Christmas trees. Will Sugar Bear end up in the landfill after Christmas?
Oh, no, Santa. Once the tree is removed, it is mulched and used around all of the congressional offices. So, in a way, Sugar Bear will continue to beautify the Capitol throughout the whole year.
Ho, ho, ho! I am really looking forward to this celebration in Mariposa.
So am I. I always look forward to spending time in Mariposa. If you would like to find out more about my public appearances that I will have in Mariposa, you can visit www.mountainmisses.com and look for Mrs. Claus's events. They are all listed there, including my visit for the U.S. Capitol's Christmas tree. It has been such a joy to share this time and all of the information about the U.S. Capitol's Christmas tree, both the overall history and the beautiful celebrations for this year's tree. If you missed the show here on KRYZ Radio, where I talked about the National Community Christmas Tree, we have placed it on my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/crafterscountdown. We will also put it on the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Mariposa Stopovers Facebook page. Because we don't have the permissions that KRYZ radio station has to play music without risk of copyright infringement, we will be removing the music that was played in the original show, but the information and history is still extraordinary and fun to hear. Next week, I will be back here on KRYZ Radio to tell you all about the traditions of Christmas trees in general. I will share some stories of trees from around the world, and we will have some fun music. If you would like more information about Sugar Bear, the People's Tree, Six Rivers National Forest, or the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree, please visit www.fs.usda.gov/srnf or www.uscapitolchristmastree.org. Those links can be found on the Facebook event page called U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Mariposa Stopover under Mountain Mrs. Claus. I recommend reading the blog on the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree site. Not only is it fascinating, but remember, reading helps keep you on Santa's nice list. So you want to read every day anyhow. Books are awesome, but online articles count as reading too. Oh my papa, we need to start packing for our trip to California. I am looking forward to the lovely California weather. Winter has set in up here at the North Pole, and I do so love getting to go to Mariposa.
Ho, 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 yes, Mama. I love it there too. I cannot wait to see you all on November 4th from noon to 2.
We are going to have a wonderful time. We'll see you then.
Ho, ho, ho.